ball, angalia watu wengine badala washike ball wanaanza kufanya hapo ball. It's okay, it's where Africa, that's in the mahali penye watu wengi wanafikiria. With those many remarks, I declare this workshop officially open. Asante sana.
So I guess a factorial clap for you. You really challenged us to tell us that we are not just here to network, but also to ensure that we deliver in the shortest time possible. A challenge to me, no more Rachel. Amondi Odongo. Amondi Odongo is mine. If that is very tough for you, we'll look for a short, but Amondi is very simple. So thank you so much, and I'm sure we are up for the challenge. I've heard there are many animals. The big five is here, so let's leave to the big five and deliver. So before we go, they're asking for a group photo. I know time is, according to the agenda, we've moved a bit, we've delayed a bit, but we'll catch up definitely for today. So a little admin work. So thank you for the team that has enabled us get here. For the washroom and the small rooms to use, just get out of the main door on your right. You'll see them there for the purposes of nature. We have a 3 days workshop from today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We pray that we finish on time, Friday at 2, with a very solid action plan. A plan that will both take forward, all of us in this room. Now that we are here to ensure that we make a difference. And the difference we will. A step or two is better than none moving forward. So with our action plan, please let's engage. Let's participate. No answer is wrong. No contribution is wrong. Respect is important. Everybody has something to say. Everybody is an expert here. We learn from each other. We'll network, we'll enjoy, we'll have a good time, and we'll have a draft at the end of the day that we can work with. So for this, I would request I get 2 people from the unit and 2 people from Horn of Africa Youth Network who will help us keep tabs on the action points as we have different sessions for the 2 days, for the 3 days actually. So that on the 3rd day, we are able to put them together and we have a draft that sisi wote tunatoka hapa nayo. Is that, are we in agreement on that? Is it doable? Hey, yes. Hey. Is it doable? Ama nieke mic. My mother was a teacher in making the voice. So it's doable. So from Horn of Africa Youth Network, 2 volunteers, please. Thank you. Stacy and Sharon, thank you. From the Affairs Unit. Okay, 2 share sessions. Or any questions that might not be fully answered that we need to take forward so that we are able to this forward. So there's registration out there. I hope all of us of admin so that we make it easier for the admin as well. So the other 2 people I would want team, it can change every day. I need a timekeeper to help us keep time. Sisi ni Afrika lakini lazima see a hand there. Thank you so much. Oh, 2. Excellent. Hey, we will be on time, eh? From now on hakuna kuchelewa, eh? Sawa sawa, tuta rework on the agenda. Then we need a hada. A hada wakati ng'ombe ziko tumeambiwa kuna watu wanapenda ng'ombe hapa, eh? Moses anapenda ng'ombe. Lazima kuwe na mchungaji, si ndio? Siwaiti ng'ombe. Woi, msiseme hivyo. Sijasema hivyo. Lakini lazima tukue na mtu mwenye anatuambia ni saa ya kurudi kwa room, si ndio? Tukienda kunywa chai, story inaweza kuwa mingi. Tunaweza kuana lakini to keep time. So we need a hada. sawa. Hello.
Closer to him. Hapo.
Ukinisikia clap once. Clap thrice. Thrice. 3 times. Thank you. Aya, tumeona tumbo kwanza. Ndio turudi sasa tukae vizuri na nguvu. Na tuendelee na kazi yetu. So tafadhali karibuni chai. We just take 15 minutes maximum. Hadas, I'm counting on you. 15 minutes maximum with timekeepers to Rudy. Then we'll hand over to Moses now. Thank you.
Karibu sana. Yangu ya simu. Unaona yangu hapo? Naweza sauti ya wao. Pasagala. Oh, I was in a meeting in the morning. Oh, yeah.
And Yes.
He had reported on it.
Oh, yeah.
Testing.
Lewis.
Nilikuwa nimeambiwa uko chini naweza pewa. Si ya tangawizi na nini.
Yes, it too.
First, for affording us this opportunity so that we we were able to bring our minds into this particular workshop so that we are able to tap from one another. And now, I have a single duty at this juncture to really bring us to speak that what we need to understand these issues in Banana context. For instance, the first time that the CEO was met at this for our meeting, we were able to have a discussion, then another meeting at their offices, and we agreed to partner together, to work this journey together, share experiences, so that we can be able to cover. So, I think that is what we are doing. And now, I have a single duty at this juncture to really bring our minds into this particular workshop so that we are able to We have those that are ethnic minorities and marginalized that are both. The small communities like the Mall of Gate, Jamus, that's an actual, they are minority.
a national framework for a policy for ethnic minorities and marginalized communities. That's a work in progress. That is part of what the unit is doing daily. We have also the mandate of pushing through the parliament, through the leaders of parliament, to have a legislation. For instance, we are all aware that we have a commission that is a constitutional commission called National Gender and Equality Commission, which is purposely dealing with issues gender, but in between there is an aspect of equality. And that's where they give an advisory to the president. They oversight what we do as the unit. The excesses, they say, here you have done right, here you need to correct. And so when I mention about that, that commission is being, it has an act of parliament under Article 59. And so what the unit is doing now is to try and push through the House of Parliament to have a legislation that will anchor this particular special interest group into the law for it to be able to operate within the precincts of the law. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to belabor the points at this juncture now so that we will be able to get the roadmap clear. This is a journey that we have started way back in 2018 when the president was the deputy president of our country. He started by giving a department that was looking into the issues of ethnic minorities. Progressively, when he was able to be elected to be our president, he now established this unit domiciled in his office, headed by our secretary, so that it can be able to look holistically into the issues affecting minorities and marginalized communities in terms of all those aspects I've mentioned. And we are very glad that we are here, forging partnership with various agencies. We are very grateful that CEO Momanyi was able to come to our place. We had a chat, we were able to connect, and now we are here walking the talk. It is really commendable, and we want to laud you, Bwana CEO, for being the man you are. We truly appreciate, and we want to promise that moving forward, we will be able to work together to actualize all that we do. And now, ladies and gentlemen, assist me to welcome my brother, Deputy Director Charles Nandain, to just paint a picture more on the context of these communities, the broader perspective of what we do in the unit, so that we get to understand in detail. Karibu sana sir.
Thank you, Moses, Director. Horn of Africa Youth Network, our Secretary, Director for Research from the unit, the rest of us, good morning. I want to pursue what Daktari began. Tunasoma tukijienjoy, si ndio? So I want us to enjoy ourselves as we get to the reasons why we are here. First of all, many of us, as was identified by Mr. Momanyi, we need to know each other, isn't it? And to know the issues that brings us together. Because when he came and we shared, and he also went and shared, and they decided that we will come together, and decided that it will be 3 days. Actually, after niliona daktari alikula time ya asubuhi yote, I just came with one thing, but you have said something that please don't leave what was inside there. So I'm going to get back there. Now, let me cast the vision. The vision. And the vision is in our national anthem, which we sang in the morning. Who can recite the first stanza? Our vision lies there. O God of all creation, isn't it? All. The word is all, isn't it? That national anthem was designed when? We've been singing that national anthem since 1963. It is 60 what years now? Actually, that stanza is in our constitution, and my 5 groups, you know what to do. Can somebody just read that stanza? Yes. It is in our constitution, and all of you have a constitution. Maureen, just read it loud. You have it? Okay, just.
O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders.
Can you clap for her? By the way, the 5 groups you are presenting with me. So be ready. The 5 groups I am not the only one going to present, and hata Cheriot pia yuko hapa maneno ya policy ataingia ndani. So we are going to deal with this thing as collective. Now let's look at God of all creation. We were looking at God who is for all of us. There is no exception. Okay, I'm being organized. Bless this, our land and nation. So there is the issue of land and nation to all of us, right? And may we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. And the last one, plenty be found within our borders. Now, you look at this stanza and what we are talking about, wale waliotengwa na wachache. How does it? Let's interact. Does it agree? There are people within us, and that is why we are here, who are marginalized, and the Constitution says so. Wametengwa. You know, they are just at the sides. They are not in the mainstream like this table here. Wako kando kule mahali penye nyokabi amekalia huko. Na wengine wako huko nje. They don't believe, they don't share in this. If you juxtapose the two items, they don't marry. Let one and all arise. All arise. With hearts both strong and true. Service be our earnest endeavor. And our homeland of Kenya, heritage of splendor, firm, and may we stand to defend it. Let all with one accord, in one common bond, fill every heart with thanksgiving. The fruits of our labor, fill every heart with thanksgiving. There are people in this country, this thanksgiving is not in their vocabulary. No wonder some of them are just told, nyinyi mnapenda tu complaining. They only state facts of where they are. So this is where we want to be, all of us. This is where we want to be, all of us. This is where we declared in 1963 that we shall be. And we put up a constitution that did not focus on what we have read here. Actually, the constitution of 1963 focused. Well, there was 1963 constitution which was changed very many times until it focused on the executive, right? Initially, it was focusing on people, but it changed. But generally, administratively, policy, practice-wise, it just continued with what the colonial people had done. And so that's why I have to come back to where I had abandoned. I had scribbled some things here. Is a journey, which is a continuum, which is divided into A, B, C, D. And at the beginning, there was a state of nature. You can just reflect back before the colonial person came, how did an African live? We Africans, before the white man came to Africa and in the place that is Kenya, how did we live? How? What did you say, Akinyi? Good. I see. I can remember. Can somebody claim for me? How did we live, Akinyi? So that environment where we lived in, it gave us food, it gave us shelter, it gave us community, and people lived according to the languages they spoke, and they practiced their culture within that nation. They also related with other communities. How did they relate to other communities? They did barter trade. They couldn't speak the language of the other. I hear if you generate water, like if you come from the lake and you have fish, unakuja unaweka fish pale, and then you sit in a corner. So the others bring what they normally do. Nyinyi mlikuwa mnafanya nini, Teso? And then you put their millet. So those ones who put the fish, they take the millet, and those ones who like to take whatever. And nyinyi Moses mlikuwa mnafanya nini? Unapeana mbuzi pale, and those one who grow the grains go and exchange. Was there a problem? Of course, there was some raiding here and there. Those people from like where the secretary come from. Wanaenda wanasema hizi ng'ombe sio zenu. Sisi tunataka kuchukua hii ng'ombe, nataka kuoa mke. And it was cultural. When it comes to the others, they also just go and pick, and life continued, isn't it? I hear such a thing still continue, but it has been commercialized in a sense that it is not like it was. What happened when these guys came? Kuna wale walikuwa wanakaa kwa forest. Maluche hapa. The forest was their place of habitation. What was their activities there? You are eating honey and protecting the trees that create that honey. You know, so there was order. But when but they would speak their language. Then the Mzungu came. Mostly, the land was like this. You will move anywhere. You'll actually move. If, for instance, this land, those people who were pastoralists, they would go anywhere, following where there is pasture. So the land belongs to us. But when the Mzungu came, he put a map. This side ni Waganda, sindio? Huku chini wa Tanzania, the Somalis, the Ethiopians, Sudanese. So in between here, the secretary's people are both in Sudan. Wameweka hapa Orengo, as we were told, majority of his people are in Uganda. In my community, we are in some mountain here. You know, they just came and they put a boundary there and they say, okay, you belong to Kenya and you belong to Tanzania. And then they declared some people to be belonging to such places, and then they started giving individual land to people, and then land became scarce, and other people missed the land. In such an area like this area of coast, coming like this, the whole of this land was declared unproductive. The only place that remained, you come here, Mount Kenya, Central, Nairobi here, all these places where my sister comes from, Taita huko chini huko. So you find that the only place that is productive is this area plus Rift Valley and western part. The capital city where the railway line followed, that is the only productive place. And you can imagine the rest of Kenya was declared unproductive place because hakuna mvua, the place is dry, and the people, according to them, as we are going to say here, they concentrate on pastoralism, they concentrate on their tradition, and they don't speak, and even their religion does not rally with the rest. So you see how what we are talking about came about. You can imagine we sing a national anthem, and yet majority of Kenya is outside what we are singing. I don't know whether those people in those marginalized areas still sing the national anthem and they believe in it. I don't know. But that is what we are going to discuss today. So the issue of marginalization came in, and marginalization simply is somebody who is excluded from the center. You are at the margins. You live at the margins of political participation, of representation in government, in education. Even in those places, there are schools that have no roads to the school. At a network, this network that we enjoy here, there is access to information problem. So these people are marginalized. This is 2025. When we were fighting for independence, we wanted to sing one national anthem. But up to today, marginalized groups, isn't it? Yeah. What else are they focusing on? No? They are coming up with a policy right now as we talk. What is their focus? Indigenous, isn't it? They are focusing on this. And in fact, if you just get out of this, it's a big argument that actually marginalized community means indigenous communities. That's what they say. Isn't that so, Doctor? They are focusing on indigenous. And then our office is called Minority and Marginalized Unit. Now, what is it? Actually, superclass. Minority is inside marginalized. So how do you remove minority and then you say And tumekuja kusoma. Do we go back differently? Maybe here, this issue of minority and marginalized affairs unit. I think it was created by somebody who is a little bit ignorant. Now with some knowledge, we need to revise so that we are dealing with the whole of this, which is these ones. If we are going to say that the policy design is going to be all, you don't extract one to be outside, and then how do you address the other? Thank you very much. Mine is to make you think.
Haya, hiyo makofi imetosha daktari. Haya, mpatie ingine. That is good. Thank you very much, my brother Dr. Nandain. He has opened up to give a context of the historical journey on these communities. And so I believe by this time we must have gotten the grasp of what this community is all about. And so in the interest of time, I can see right now it's around, I think we're almost lunchtime. We truly apologize for that because it is in the manner in which we started our program in the morning. We were a bit late, but nevertheless, we know we will be able to achieve the objective. And now, allow me to just don't again waste a lot of time or belabor the points, because we have been able to understand the context of minorities. By now, you know our mandate, you know what we are, the people we are serving. Colleagues have taken us through who an indigenous community is, minority group, minority communities, traditionalists, and all those. And by the way, when we say marginalized groups, it's a very open context, and which Nandain has not mentioned, because even in our country, I know the law does not allow, but in some jurisdiction, we know the groups that name using the alphabets. You know them. I don't want to mention them, but I know you know. They can also be categorized as marginalized groups, but us, we don't deal with them. And so there is need for a clear definition of who exactly we are dealing with, and he has put it well, that policies are being developed, legislation, so that we have also the real definition of who working for. And so, Chako, karibu sana, so that you will take us through the next part. Karibu sana.
Thank you. You saw me going to the back. Learned Senior has set us on is a tangent we should not depart from. What do you, any reflections? Because we are minorities represented in the room. There are minorities represented in the unit. And for me, part of the reason why this conversation is very important is that when you work in a unit such as this, it cannot be just a job. It cannot be just a job. That if you're in one group, you don't know what the other group is discussing, that we don't understand the history of our country, because identity issues are political issues. And we know black people, we carry multiple identities. You're a Christian, Muslim, Luya, Kenyan. Within the Luya, which we sometimes use for political purposes, or we say Taita when actually you're a Kasigao, because then politically you have numbers, yeah? So where are we? What are our reflections on our history and the researches we are doing? And even the critical question, Charles, you've left us with, is that now that we are designing a policy, where are we? The information that has been imparted in this previous session, what does it mean for your work? What are your thoughts? I'm very comfortable with silence, but I'm also happy to cherry pick. What are the reflections? Do you want to answer? Sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Kenneth Chiriota, and I just want to weigh in on something that has been raised. And probably I'm the second senior most here in terms of bureaucracy in the unit. So I'm a bureaucrat by training and government officer by earning. I want to weigh in on something that we've called the marginalized, this one, yes, the marginalized groups. And I want us to bring ourselves to what the government has done. When you give me an assignment, I'm a very lazy person. So what I normally do, I try and research what has been done so that I don't repeat it. So the same as the wheel that was discovered in 1600 BC, the size only changes, but the functionality is still the same. The marginalized groups, we need to be very clear. What has been mainstreamed and what has not been mainstreamed in whatever framework that we have, by either institutional framework, legal framework. What do you think has been mainstreamed? And probably I want the guys who are in group 5 to answer me that question. And I want an answer from you. What do you think has been mainstreamed? Legal framework, institutional framework?
I would say there's before in most government advertisements they would if they would encourage people from the communities to take opportunities.
No, let's go back. What is mainstreaming?
Maybe bringing it to the highlighting at national level.
What term should we be using as a unit? There's a term that I'm looking for. Someone else?
Indigenous?
No. Someone else? Not advocacy? Yes? Yeah, I had, yeah? Yeah.
Discriminated.
Almost there. That's not the answer. But we have an answer for it. It's called inclusivity. What has been included in the government policies that are active today? And I'll tell you the way we said about Ngenge, which deal with gender parity. Women have been mainstreamed. We need also to understand that the youth have been mainstreamed largely, and they have a complete policy. It's called a national youth policy. They've been mainstreamed. The persons with disabilities have their own commission. They have been mainstreamed. So what is missing? And that is the answer that we, by the end of this workshop, we should be answering, especially as a unit and the people who are here to learn from us. So who has been excluded? So when we talk about the marginalized communities, who are they exactly? So I'll delve into that probably when we discuss something in the afternoon, and then we'll look at more policies and what policy framework that we need to establish. And we have let's have a like-minded thinking at the end of this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think in line with what he has said, the speaker who went just before me, and is talking about us looking at the issues that have already been brought out, like mainstreaming. And I was also thinking about what we did in regard to pastoralists. And during our research, we also looked at the various pieces of legislation that have been brought about that look like they're addressing issues of pastoralists, but we are still having this conversation around them some land that favor pastoralists, but we still have issues of land among these communities. There are some legal frameworks that have been put in place in regard to titling of community land, but still we still have these communities complaining about, like recently in Narok, I saw somebody was given a chunk of land and a community went up in arms. So I also feel like that's a reflection, so that even while we are developing our own policy, how are we incorporating or looking at these legal frameworks that are existent, and what is it that is not working with them? Thank you.
So as was said by the first speaker, not necessarily needing to reinvent the wheel, but look at more collaborative ways of working, which is where the eco-mutualism comes in, so that as the unit is doing its work, there's an appreciation that you're operating within an ecosystem, and there are other actors, and there are other players, and there are other resistors, and there are other potential collaborators. Any other reflection? I want, especially from the people who are leading groups, or people who are in groups. I think I've passed a group here.
Hi again. For us, we are dealing with the traditional communities, and I think for us, we're also facing the same issues as the pastoralists, land issues, and yeah, most of them are not included. We also dealt with communities that some of them, like the youth, lack IDs, they don't have access to education, and they're just not included in the program, or like nationally we forget them somehow. And yeah, for us, we just want more inclusivity of them, and mostly fighting for the ID thing, because of those people in the interior places, they lack IDs. Some of them lack jobs because of stuff like IDs. Like there was a NYS program that was going on like a few weeks ago, and a lot of them were being brought to Nairobi to participate in some of the programs, but most of them lacked IDs, so only a few could be taken, and that's mostly an issue that's affecting them. And yeah, we are hoping to see change when it comes to that.
Thank you. So you're saying beyond policies, issues around enforcement, and I think we identified legislation, policies, and enforcement mechanisms, and those are also within our ecosystem, so that we don't think a new policy will be the end all and cure all. We need to look at the policy, but together with the entire ecosystem.
Okay. So the question was, as Nandain tried to explain who we are and what we do. So for me, what stood out is about accountability. Those people who are put there to make sure the implementation part is done. So accountability.
So accountability. Momanyi, there are things you are hearing. What are your reflections?
I'm still hearing many things. Yeah, as she's rightly put it, is that I think what we are trying people to do is to be able, all of us, I have seen everyone is actually noting something down. When all the two speakers were speaking, someone is actually writing down. So probably the unit is trying people to create a niche. What do we want to be able to do? And this is probably, and that's why I've actually asked Kijala if we can be able to stop there and actually reflect, who are we? What are we? What is our mandate? We can actually define, even actually now put it there in a PowerPoint presentation. We see how it will look like. Number two, probably what has been done. Another question that is actually coming in my head: what is other marginalized communities demand us to do? And how are we supposed to be able to respond? And who do we need to be able to bring on board so that we can be able to have these particular conversations moving forward? So I think even the next conversation that as part of the program, I think even the program is going to change. It's not about presentations and presentation, but we need to be able to really reflect in this particular area. By the time that we are leaving here, as my brother is saying, we don't want to wait it until tomorrow. Let's do it now, so that we are very clear. As we go for lunch, we are very clear who are we, what is expected from us, and how, and who do we need to be able to bring on board so that we can be able to achieve our mandate. Like even the programmatic approach, what kind of programs do we want to be able to create that can be able to respond to the needs of our clients who are marginalized communities? That's what I'm listening.
Yes, we are still listening. So I see Fiona, I see my brother, and then I'm coming to you, sir.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Fiona Otieno, and part of the Pan-African Policy Institute. I came in a bit late, so I missed the first half of the conversation, but I will catch up as we move along. Now, in the spirit of taking the conversation forward, one element I feel we need to include is how do we represent the voices, the perspectives, and experiences of the marginalized and minority groups. We have done the research, but where are they? What are they saying? How is that going to come out in the policy, right? And perhaps one element that we would need to also give a bit more thought is all or some. If the policy is looking to address the issues of all marginalized and minority groups, what is the risk of using that approach? There's an element of it might be a bit generic. So if it is generic, it does not speak to the concrete issues of those distinct groups, right? And then if we use the SAM approach, it means that the groups, the part of the marginalized and minority groups who will be told, wait your turn. So wait your turn for how long? Then what can we, the final thought is the women's movement has done a lot. The persons with disability are also doing a lot. The youth movement have done a lot. So what lessons are we picking from those experiences so that we can jumpstart our process? We are not going to go through what the women went through, what the persons with disabilities went through, what the youth are going through. So how do we inform this process in a way that allows us to move faster? But that conversation, all or some, I think that's where we'll use most of our time in figuring out what does the policy look like.
Thank you. Ndugu.
Okay, I want just to look at our constitution. That is the fifth schedule. Is that the correct English? Fifth schedule. I hope you have understood what I wanted to say. So, I want us to go there, if we are all there, legislation to be enacted by Parliament. And if you look at this unit, it was created in which year, Orengo? 2023. But if you look at the fifth schedule, please just understand what I want to say. So you look at what has been done up to this time, from 2013 up to date. There is little which has been performed, or there is none, and almost zero when it comes to legislative part of constitution that can guide these people who are marginalized and minorities. Because there is a time frame that has been provided by the Constitution for any legislative act to be taken to Parliament. Because Chapter 3 about citizenship, it requires how many years? 1 year. But right now, some people somewhere in this country are not getting ID cards because maybe wanakaa wazungu, wanakaa So they are really going through tough time. And then there is issues to do with family, that is 5 years. And then matters to do with the land, which really affects the minorities, it is 5 years. So if you look at the time frame that has been provided by the Constitution, and you look at where we are right now, there's much that needs to be done in terms of policy, legislation, and also ensuring that the rights of the marginalized and minorities are anchored in the Constitution. Thank you.
I wanted to go to something that my brother Charles was presenting, but I'm not going there for now. I just wanted to say non-dominancy is an issue of minorities and marginalized communities. When they are not, when they are non-dominant, then that is where the problem starts. My reflection is, as I was sitting here, never come to my mind, but I was just thinking, since the implementation of the 2010 Constitution, what is the fear that the successive governments had about this group? Why did they allow the women, the youth, the PWD to start their process? What is the fear? So that then if we identify these fears by the successive government or the adults, then how are we going to maneuver through to deliver this? Because it is not just deliberately left. For me, where I sit, there's a bit of non-clarity on these issues. We're still asking these questions. Who are these people? Where are they? Then the big elephant of this is which criteria is used to determine that are a minority or a marginalized. Those are the real issues that when we answer, then we will flow. But before we answer those, we are still going to hit the hurdles before us, and it will stop us from moving forward. Just to say, as the head of the unit, the data given by Moses and Charles has not yet been validated. It's not conclusive to say that today we have 10% of the population that can be confirmed by numbers, or to say we have 69 communities confirmed or validated by anybody. The data is still raw. We're still having a process of identification. Then what is the criteria? We still have to undergo a process of validating the same data. Then finally maybe gazetting them, so that whatever we are going to craft as a policy or an act of parliament, then we know the clientele, we know who is this law going to serve. But for now, everybody is minority. Even you, Momanyi, is still a minority and marginalized, until when we cut it clear. But for now, everybody is still identified as a minority and a marginalized, so long as you can explain and tell us how you are. You remember the case of the Equalization Fund. All of us knew that we only had 14 counties that are from the ASALs. But as we speak today, because of some explanations, we are at almost 32 or 33 counties and regions and areas. Even if when the map is drawn there, you'll see 75 to 90% of Kenya geographically is marginalized. Then how do we now separate from marginalized areas and the marginalized people? Everybody in a marginalized area will say, I'm a marginalized, like a constituency in Nyeri, Kieni. There is a constituency in Nyanza, the Bay, some There's a bay there. So, and everywhere, there are pockets. Here in Nairobi, you have pockets of areas that are occupied by the groups of people that are marginalized. Then if we go by the numbers, the small numbers, let me tell you, if we register today and now that we are allowing the Nubians take their IDs, they'll be more than even the other majorities. As we speak today, projectively, they are above 650,000 Nubians. Are they still in the minority card? The Ogiek are occupying 12 counties, and in every county, they are not less than 10,000. If today we say all of them are mainstream, they are given their code, they'll be like 200,000. Are they still a minority? Then what is the quota? What is the percentage of your community against the national population for you to be a minority? Let us not think that there is any other person that has done this. It is for us to cut that. Yeah, we say a population of 10% and below against the national population, then we can call them minority. We need to have something so that at least we can argue that point out. But if we still talk of generalities, then we are still, the government that has given us the job will still fear to jump into this discussion. Because I was in Nandi, and I was in Nandi last year. While discussing, then I came to the county assembly and we sat down. Then the members of the county assembly said, you people, when you serve the minority and you give them everything by the government, then us, the majority, will walk away from this government and leave you deal with the minorities. You know, you see the fear. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Secretary. I think for me, we are starting to touch the core issue, which is the fear and the politics around identity. And I think we see it even when the census results are out. There's usually concern about, wamekuwa wengi hivi lini? So until we sort out that fear, then it will impact on how we do our communications, how we do our branding, the validity of our data, and so on and so forth. So I think as we go forth, there's a question here, Momanyi, and then we'll come to you.
It's more of a comment on the reflection. For me, I feel we can, as a team, we can find ways to empower the marginalized in terms of education and awareness, in terms of political, bring them on board. Yeah, that's my view.
So I think related to what Fiona was asking about agency and voice and empowerment, it is one thing to speak for minorities and the marginalized, but it's another thing to also give them platforms. Momanyi.
Mine, I wanted to give guidance. I think listening from what the secretary has said, I think we need to let's utilize that screen and set those questions and populate it there. Let's not pick another conversation. Let's answer those questions. Let's try people to figure out what is the fear, what is the agency needs to be able to do, because no one else is going to be expected to do this. It's us in this particular room. As the secretary has rightly said, even His Excellency the President, you need to be guided. Who are these marginalized? So I think let's that thing to be on. Let's put some questions. We can even go back to group work and get the job done. And then now we can, by the time we leave here, by close of business today, at least we're somewhere.
Thank you so much. I think I want to ride on your point. And earlier on, I was still shaking because I held the microphone for the first time this morning. Now, as part of the guidance and government bureaucracy, this is the first thing that we need to do. And probably it should be an outcome for the end of today. The question that the secretary has asked is very pertinent. What is the fear for not mainstreaming the marginalized communities? The answer lies within the four walls of this building, of this room. And number one is that we need to determine who they are. The only way to determine them is through research. And by research, we need to have something called indicators. We need to come up with what are the bare minimums, like what is the population. So if we say that the population should be 500,000 and below, okay, that means they have a small population. Okay, what is their origin? So we need to come up probably with proper indicators. These indicators will help us in one thing. When we are developing the policy, they will be indicated there. Further on, when we are going for a gazettement, the indicators will be shown clearly. Say that very populous county, yet there we don't plant tea. So am I imagining out of what we are discussing, that is what I think. What we are discussing, that is what I think I will weigh in. Please.
Wait, I don't know what to do now. What do we do? She has stepped out and I don't know. Oh, the people are still reflecting. Ah, very nice.
We have a way forward around reflecting on what those questions mean. So I'm thinking we do it. So we want to project that, we put the fears at the center, and then we converse and see what is coming up for us. So I hope you're already meditating, ruminating on the answers, so that when we project them, we're just keying them in haraka haraka. So what is the fear of not mainstreaming? We are also asking, who are they? And where are they? And do we have KPIs? How do we measure? Then, what do you call them? Indicators. And then also, where are their voices? What are they saying? How are we engaging them? Do we have indicators? Any other question we need to wrestle with? Where are their voices? What are they saying? Are we just speaking on their behalf? Do we know what they want? Are they dictating our responses to their needs?
Then we arrange them. Yes. Okay.
So you're saying, yeah, participation. How are they participating in the works of the unit? Eh? Any other question we should wrestle with? Any other question? Who is the policy for? In the borders of Kenya, or how do we moderate? Do we need to moderate? What is our capacity? I think that's another question. What's the capacity of the unit to respond once we answer the question of scope and magnitude? What are the pain points? Meaning, what are some of the challenges so far? Yeah. What are the challenges? What are the pain points? If we already have other policies that are covering pastoralists, that are covering marginalized groups, why are they not working? Why did the unit still need to be formed? Yes? So prioritization. How do we prioritize who to respond to first? Yes. Good. What opportunities are existing for partnership, for mobilizing resources, for engagement, for scale up, for replicating the work that we are already doing very well? What are the opportunities that exist? Any other question that you feel if we answer, we will be home and dry? Yes. Excellent. What are the best practices? What can we benchmark ourselves against? Because it is not a challenge unique to Kenya. We are seeing it in its worst forms right now in DRC. We are seeing it in its worst forms now in Sudan. So those are some of the risks that if we don't intervene and people have to take matters into their own hands, we will be somewhere we did not want to be. What are the best practices? So normative frameworks beyond the national. So global, continental, regional, and local normative frameworks. Because then we might not need to reinvent. Yes, Ndugu. Definitions. Yes, because then it also informs our scope. Thank you. Daktari?
Yes, I'm still on the same, the scope and the definitions. One, who are the minorities and who are the marginalized, and that is the groups found within the minorities, groups found within marginalized, and who is minority and marginalized. And also, very important is domestication of the terminology according to our constitution and according to our country, because looking at internationally, they're talking of indigenous peoples. So how do we bring that to our situation in Kenya so that we don't have some people talking about indigenous and others talking about marginalized? Okay, domestication. Thank you.
Terminologies. Because remember, we are also saying it's political. So when you go to the ground and you're trying to communicate that this group is marginalized or a minority, will the community around them agree? Do those communities themselves consider themselves to be minorities beyond, let's say, political gain? How do we define it in a way that people are also able to self-identify and we are not imposing the terminology? I see your hand, Dada, and then we'll come here.
I'd also want to know, like, how do we measure the effectiveness of the initiatives or programs that are made to uplift the minorities?
Excellent. How do we know we are working? What does Canaan look like, the promised land, when all minorities are majorized and the marginalized are included? What does that dreamland look like for ourselves as a unit, but also for our clients and for the communities around them? What does it look like? Yes. 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 Thank you. And now we are cooking. Yes.
Just to add on that, I think once we've all got all the answers about this, how are we going to communicate this to the public? Because we need them on board. We want them to really understand, and this includes educating everyone.
Thank you. And there's the spoken word, then there's the optics. They are it's granular, they are dynamics. Yes, sir.
We can also focus on what the government has done in regards to the marginalized groups.
So we look at what has happened before.
Okay.
Yeah. It's our legacy. What do we want to be known for? Who do we say we are, and who do people say we are? It's different sometimes, eh? Who you think you are and who we say you are. Yes, Mama.
So Mercy, the point from where you are, how to measure the effectiveness of the policies implemented, but also the methodological approaches.
All right. Now, this is where I thrive. So sorry for talking too much. This is where I thrive. This is how I earn. Now, let's look also at the stakeholder involvement, both government and non-state actors. Yes. And of course,
Participation.
and by that, we will mean it this as the first stakeholder engagement. Yes.
I have just one, and this should close the questions. What will happen if the status quo is maintained?
Yes, what is the risk of that?
Yes.
Yes. What is the risk? Yes, someone says they have one more. Yes, Mas.
Thank you. There's something she mentioned about some of the marginalized groups that have really advanced, and that is women, people with disabilities, and the youth. And one thing that I can see in common is these people are very vocal. These marginalized groups are very vocal. So how can we encourage or empower these communities to help us to pursue what their agenda? Yes, thank you.
I think that links back to the comment. The question will be around enhancing agency and empowerment of those communities to speak out for themselves. 4 more.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
We can also look at some champions, for example, elected leaders from these communities. If we have, we can. Yes, so we can incorporate if we have elected leaders from the marginalized groups, and what initiatives they have done to kind of realize the challenges of these communities.
That's a good one. Eh? Does representation mean change? So where we've given space and opportunity before, what are some of the good outcomes we have seen that we can use as a marketing strategy and a communication strategy? Going once, going twice. Yes, Charles.
At the end, we are removing marginalization. There should be no one in Kenya who is marginalized according to the national anthem that we sang. So we shall be ticking off. Once we give you roads, we give you hospitals, we give you everything. Women, you have 2/3. You are represented. We remove you from marginalization. But there are people you will only protect perpetually, even when marginalization has gone. And I normally use an example between me and Honorable Owai. He will remain tall. You can't make me to be as tall as him. you can only enable me maybe unipatie ngazi nipande ili niwe kama yeye, and then you retain that ngazi as long as I live. Otherwise, if you remove, then I get to my height, which disadvantages me from seeing what he sees that I am not able to see as a short person.
So how do we frame that? Is it levels and categories of interventions?
And he seems to have an answer.
To reinforce his point by saying we have a proverb from El Chamus community, sorry for that, that says it's okay to be a minority, but it is not okay to be marginalized. Actually, I'm just coming to his point. Minority need to be protected, but marginalization, you can come out of it. When you have leaders, the ability to elect leaders to parliament or be nominated, economically stable, and then you come out of marginalization. So the elephant in the room is marginalization. Minority need protection.
So does that mean the question is around categories and kinds of intervention, policy interventions, some the need of our clientele?
Yes. Just wanted to maybe for me to frame that question properly, I want to say, just put the nexus. What is the nexus between minority and marginalized? What is the nexus? So that once we have the nexus, now it will help us find solution differently for each. Like the chairman, mtafute bibi tatu tatu. Kuna mchezo.
By the way, it is a debate, and I like the title is really minority status Bakuzana.
Yes, Mamanyi, yes.
It's a strategy, but it can also be it can also be a genetic
Mamanyi, how can people be 3,000 for 10 years? It's not possible. Even one.
Colleagues, I think something burning? Yes, please.
Sasa mfungulie. You know, I want to say one thing. Before in Kenya, the Somalis were minorities. Can we still stand today and say Maasai and Somalis are minorities?
Inaitwa Darwin's theory. Darwin's theory. What? It's basic. Sini Darwin's theory. Yeah. What was that?
Survival for the fittest. Colleagues. Aya,
let me just respond to that.
Yes.
It is very political to say what was done. But the reality is if I would just ask here, for those ones who have families, those ones who are still like Namorin, you can close your whatever. On average in Kenya, how many people, children are cutting across? If you go beyond 4, actually, other than people, because religion also is contributing. Our friends who come from the religion that allows many wives, and sometimes the wife compete to have children. That's an easy thing. But to be very honest, We must protect the minorities and remove marginalization that affects minorities and other folk groups. The issue is we have described them. We must design policy measures that address those specific needs for them to come out and to be sustained, that they don't get back. If you just go to Marsabit, Marsabit has Rendiles, and Rendiles are supposed to be actually not minority, right? In Bomas, somebody rose up and left when they saw the Rendiles were dancing on the platform. And I say, I thought only minority and marginalized. So that word minority and marginalized must be differentiated. That you can be majority, but where you stay, you don't have facilities that other people do. Like where I come from, the government driver who had driven us closer to where we stayed, he refused. He said, my friend, hiyo gari haiwezi kufika huko. Mahali penye mimi natoka, we can perhaps the way to go is let Horn of Africa tell us, and policy the policy people tell us, what do they think we should do?
What I think we should do, comrades, is go for lunch. A small group of us will be left behind. We will synthesize these questions, and then I think in the afternoon break into groups and delve deeper into them, so that by the close of today we have clarity. I think since morning we've seen our history. I'm hoping as you go for lunch your appetite is not ruined.
What are our main challenges?
Yeah, next.
What does success look like for MMAU?
Yeah. Is it MMAU? Is it one M or is it like this? Great.
What if the status quo is maintained? What are the risk factors?
Great. This one will be answered by the secretary, directors, deputy directors in that particular category. If they will people to, we will be very grateful. Next one. In clientele, this is where I need comms people. The marketing team. These are your questions. Yes, who do we serve? Yes, we have been given a responsibility, a department, executive unit. Who do we serve?
Where are they?
Where are the people that we serve? Are they in the streets? Are they in the rural areas? Where are they? We need to know where they are, right? Is it making sense? Yes. What do you think that this group of people that you intend to serve, they need?
What are they saying?
Yes, what are they saying about the unit? Do they even aware that this marginalized and minority exist? Do they know? If they know, what are they saying?
What does success look like for them?
Yes, if you visualize success, how will success look like? They come once again, where are they? The beauty we also had with the people from Horn of Africa, and the beauty they are actually there. So all the group you will meet where Chibet is. Where are they once again? Who are they? Songa tu na kiti yako tu hapo hivyo, pendua kiti, kaa karibu hapo hivyo. Pole pole tu. Okay, reflect hizo maswali. Next.
Who are our stakeholders?
This is now, is there a team for partnership, right? In charge of partnership. Fantastic. Who are our stakeholders? Are we together? We need to stakeholders. Next.
What are our expectations?
What is our expectation? What do we expect? Both for this mandate, this unit, and even to our stakeholders. Next.
What are they doing on the same issues?
Do we have any other persons who are in this particular space, or we are the only people, we are the only new people? Partnership, are you getting? Hello? Are you getting? Great.
What are the complementarities? Where to leverage on each other resources, capacities, joint advocacy, etc.
Yes. You spoke about in the morning about Ngek, right? Something like Ngek. So where do we want to see our complementarity, and how do we want to be able to plug in the advocacy? So partnerships. Partnership. Which one was this? Liaison. It's also part of it. It is also part. Eh? Legislation, eh? Ah, great. So partnership, kuja hapa kwanza nione. Partnership, kuja nione. Partnership. Kuja sukume kiti. Okisai, ingia hapa. My brother, Hasla, ingia hapa. Don't worry, fix mali. Weke kiti kwanza. Kuja hapa katikati. Legislation hapa katikati. Watu wa policy hapa katikati. Let's move fast. Then we will read the rest. Don't worry, ukibaki don't worry, we will place you. Kama hakuna mali una fit utakuvolunteer kwenye unaweza fit. Ukishaniambia unafanya nini? Kwa research. Kuja hapa. Nimekuvolunteer. Policy, policy research, come here. Actually, someone get one person from your team, come and take a photo of these questions. Come take a photo. Or let's read for the research. Let's go for the research first, and then we will take some photos. Twende chini. Legislation? No. Legislation?
What are possible challenges, roadblocks in developing them? Stop.
In the morning here, hello, again, let me give advice. In the morning, we are even wanted to write a policy. So what is this policy are we talking about? What are the possible challenges and roadblocks? Are there any other policy? Or what kind of policy are we talking about here?
What are the mitigation strategies? What are the key priority areas to be considered in the policy? What opportunity exists? What opportunities exist?
Which one should come first in all of these questions? I think this one should come first. Excuse, I want you to the team to reorganize this one, so that you get it right. Your team, you can take a photo so that you can reorganize. And I don't want you to reorganize. They will reorganize. Wait. Madam, stop fast. They will reorganize. Don't worry. They are a very competent team. They will reorganize. So can you take a photo, your team? You've already taken. Is there another one? We're done. So go up. I want to see this. The partnership, come and take a photo. The partnership people. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I'm taking this question. Don't worry. This one will be shared all of you so that you can also have it in for your reference. So don't worry. Next one. The group for marketing. Please take a photo. Marketing, take a photo for this. Fantastic. Okay, I will. So there's, because there's, I want some of the researchers to define for us this one. The team, I think they are coming. So, who was in charge of this? Oh, they're coming. They're coming. They're coming. So now, just leave the laptop. Don't worry. You, join here. Come here. Come. Programs are good. Note number 1. Chukua photo number 1. Alafu utajoin wetu wengine wanakuja kujoin. Kitu kwenye ulikuwa tu pale. Number 1. Chukua join them. Yes. Which one was this? Which partnership? Come here. Ingia hapa. New energy. Kuja hapa. Chukua kiti pale, weka pale. Pull your chair. Kiti hapa. Join hapa. Join hapa. Where are you? Okay. Sit here. Songa karibu. Young man, come here. Jamila, come here. Don't worry. They will pull the chair. Nimekutoa hapo. Kuja na kitu chako. Chukua picha. All the questions. Think creatively, and we are going to do. Hello. Appoint the team leader, rapporteur, a team leader or a chairperson who is going to record everything that you are going to discuss, and make sure that all the work is typed. You type it. Get a rapporteur, a chairperson. This will be how this will go. This will be the. Hello? Yes. What is the time? This is what we'll do. In the next 45 minutes, we will be going through these particular conversations, answering all these questions. Number 2, if you are in group 1, or group 2, group 3, group 4, you will be given an opportunity to also input all these areas that we have spoken about. Are we together? So we want all the secretaries, they will remain permanent. What has transpired. So cafe challenge. So you move 15 minutes you input, and then the rest goes. And then you will come and do a wrap up in all the presentations on what you have been given. Are we together? Yes. So 45. Make sure you type. Have a team leader, a rapporteur, has been transpired, or someone that who is going to remain in that particular group is someone who can be able to grasp issues, because all of us will be moving. Like group 1, they will move to group 2, group 2 will move to group 3, group 3 will go to group 4, like that round. The challenge. Where's number 2? Great. All number 2 stand, apart from the secretary. Who are number 3? Number 3s. Stand apart from the secretary. The secretary sits. You will remain there until Jesus comes back. Until the rest of the team, they will come and meet you there. Number 4, please stand up. Great. So number 1, this will be instructions. The secretaries that you will find there, they will explain to you what they have discussed. And then you'll also be given an opportunity to contribute if you have any idea to that particular group. All the groups you will have an opportunity until you go back where you started your journey from. So can we start moving? So group number 1, go to group 2. Group 2, go to group 3. Move like this fast. Move. Where's number 3? Like this. So number 4, number 3's come there. So move like that. I don't know. You go to group 1. Go to group 1. Like that, like that. Clockwise. Please, please, please. Move, 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 move. Apart from the secretary. Madam, move. Excuse, move. Ndugu, move. Group 4, go to group 1, like that until you come back. And your conversation starts now. Group 1, go to group 4, haraka haraka. Secretary, please take them through what you guys have discussed. You only have 5 minutes. You only have 5 minutes in your groups. 5 minutes. Don't waste time. Jamila, you are wasting time. Sit down. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Please don't introduce yourselves, just go straight to the business. You'll still go back. Your destination, make sure that you have passed all the stations until you go back to your group. You have an opportunity to add something. Count for me 7 minutes, 2 minutes for presentation, 5 minutes for contribution. 7 minutes. Tell me, you give me a signal to change, to shift. Don't confuse. No, don't confuse her, please. Hey, don't confuse her, please. You will come back. Secretaries, give people time to contribute. Give them opportunity to contribute. Don't talk too much. Give them time to contribute. Don't talk too much. Hard. Don't compliment hard. What they're telling you hard, make sure you type. Make sure you type what they're telling you, type. Your job is to type. Minutes. 2 minutes to make a point. 2 minutes to make a point. How many minutes? 2 minutes. 120 seconds remaining. 120 seconds remaining. Make a point. Make a point, please. You can even write. If you don't have time to speak, please write down, leave the secretary something. If you don't have time to contribute, write something, give to the secretary. Write down something, give it to the secretary. One, 2, 3, 4. Please, let's stand. Let's stand up and move. Let's stand up and move. You can take a selfie as you go. Let's move to the next group. Move to the next group. Make sure that you grab where you are going. 4, they are here in the middle. Please move, please move. Please move, please move. Please move, please move. Please move, please move. Number 3 is there. Please move. Where is it? Number 3. You know, group 1? You have gone. I think number 3. 4. Number 3, alafu number 4 ndio katikati. Please sit, please sit. Take time to discuss. Please contribute. Secretary, please continue. Excuse, secretary. Don't wait people to sit. Continue. Start. Start. Ready, go. Secretary, group 4, please. Attention. Jamila, sadi simu. Kwa simu naongoja. Please talk. Why is this group becomes very small? The review are not moving.
Food security.
Make sure you contribute. Secretary, stop talking. Get input. Finalize, get input from the rest. Stop talking, secretaries. Your job now is to record. You have 2 minutes to contribute. 2 minutes to contribute. If you don't have time to contribute, write something, write somewhere, drop it. Right, Rakaraka. How many minutes? Wait, young one. How many minutes remaining? 2 minutes. 120 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Be standing up as you give your last comments. Just stand up. Don't move. Just be standing up as you give your last comments. Don't move. Don't move. Just stand up. Give your last comments. Please stand up. Please stand up. Group 1. The people are in group 1. Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Move. Move now. Move to the next group. Move to the next group. Wait, write down. Welcome, 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 welcome. Please move, please move, please move. Please move, please move. Make sure you introduce which group are you and what you guys are doing. Introduce what you are doing. You were here before? Oh. Proceed, please. Hey, madam, what's your name? Lavender, please talk. Very fast. Endelea. This is part of fun. You said you want fun. Hey, please talk. and 20 seconds. 1 answer and 20 seconds. Be typing, be typing, be typing.
But sio pesa for now.
Be putting the last point. 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 Are you done? Are you done? Great. The last point, the last one. Ask them question now. Ask them the questions. They have been asking you the questions. The secretaries, you have an opportunity to ask them the questions. 1 minute to ask the question. Last point, please add last point. Please add the last point. Add the last point. Please stand up. 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 Be giving it the last point. No. Secretaries remain. The secretaries remain. Stand up, all of you. Go back, go now to your groups, right? Or go to the next group. Go to the next group. No, go to the next group. Go to the next group now. Go to the next group. Where the journey began. Go back where the journey began. Go back. Please go back to your groups. I want you to listen what I'm saying. Please go back. May I request your attention, please? Hello? Can you get the feedback? What was given out? Hello? Please keep quiet, please. Group 3, please keep quiet. Group 3. Group 4, please keep quiet. Group 2, please keep quiet. So now the secretaries now inform your team members the additional input. If they are not there, tell me they are not there. But if they are there, please inform them. The secretaries, please take time to inform your groups the additional information that you are given by the rest of the colleagues. If there are some concerns, please take note of the concerns. Secretaries, Charles, please. And if there is any concern, please discuss. If there are any concerns, any emerging issues, please discuss. Any emerging issue that came out, please discuss. Secretaries, I want to get your note. Is it okay? Everything is okay? You have explained? And your teams are fine with it? Number 4 and number 1. Group 4 and number 1. Group 4 and group 1. Where are we? Your secretary. I'm talking to secretaries. Are you okay? You have already finalized? Yeah, finalized. We are not talking. Sixty seconds. 60 seconds. Seconds. 60 seconds, please. 40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 15 seconds remaining. Great. Thank you very much. Can you clap for yourselves? Can you clap once again for yourselves? So I want to hear how was the exercise? Those are very good adjectives and adverbs. Say it. What are the lessons learned from the exercise that you have just completed? Not presentation. I've not asked about presentation. Just the exercise, the discussions.
I can only summarize by saying it was awesome, and
Please.
I was saying I can just summarize by saying that the exercise was awesome, and we've picked like some points that we didn't have in our group. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Another lady from that group to say something? Gender equality. We don't want to marginalize anyone.
Okay, I have learned the importance of collaboration and sharing of knowledge.
Thank you very much. Who feels that if you will not speak, you will not have a good night today? From that group? Okay, thank you very much. Can you appreciate group 2, please? Bring the microphone here. Yes, something want to hear from you? Who is willing to take the mic? Yes, say something, my brother Ndugu.
Good evening. The process has been engaging. We've learned a lot in legislation, the way we've realized other groups have a different perspective on what we were going through, and they have impacted greatly on what we are going to finalize as our main report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One more person. Secretary, what do you want to say?
Good evening, everyone. So, for this exercise, I'm glad that we did the rotation because some of the groups were blank.
There's a very good observation. Can you appreciate her, please? Can you appreciate her, please? No, please say something. Say, what else? What else? What else? What else? Lavender, what else?
So I'm glad we did this rotation. They've impacted us and I've impacted them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Who else want to speak from this? Thank you very much. Can you appreciate the group 4, please? Group 3. Were you also blank?
Good afternoon. I think for me, it's a learning experience. Actually, Mr. Chair, there was a lot of limited time to get the insights from the other groups, but it was even hard for us to pick something. So I think that experience, with the wrap up of all the document, I think we can still wrap up all of us. Because there was a limited time in Ambia, wake up. By the time the secretary was doing a wrap up. But from experience, I think my group is the best. Clap for us.
Thank you very much. That's why the program was designed, to keep you on toes. Another secretary, say something. And probably Dr.
I want to say thank you to all of you for participating, and I'm grateful for the points you've added to our group. I think we did a fairly good job, but thank you for the other points, and yeah, we're grateful.
That's what the group. That's what you were told by the groups, by the other groups. They said that. Okay. Appreciate them, please.
In a nutshell, the light seems to be pointing to the same point, not scattered. Thank you.
Okay, that's very deep. Thank you very much. Appreciate them, please. Can you appreciate them, please? Apart from the secretary, because secretary will sum everything. So that group. 2 people from that group.
Chair, very interactive on idea sharing. Then kupotea njia ni kuchua njia. Chair. Those who got lost, I think they are now put on the right way.
Before the secretary, another person. Who was the secretary in that group?
I'm afraid that this group is saying that they were the best. I think we were, because the points that have been given to our groups, we've managed to go through them and we declared them. We have declared them like they're null, like they're good. Whatever we had was good. The session was very engaging. It was very interactive. Thank you.
Thank you. I want you to read the first paragraph, the first question. I want you to answer for me the first question, the secretary. Or before, okay. Give her the mic. No, give her the mic. And then you will read for us the first question. What was the response? Not, I know the question, but I want the response.
Thank you so much. The first question was, who are we?
Please listen and internalize.
We are the Minority and Marginalized Affairs Unit, serving under the Executive Office of the President. And the unit was established pursuant to the Executive Order number 2 of 2023 and a commitment in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, Better Plan, to protect the rights of the minority and marginalized communities and promote affirmative action and programs and measures as envisaged in Article 10, that is into bracket 2, B 27 into bracket 6, 43, 56, 100 into bracket D, 232 into bracket L, H, and I. Actually, you're supposed to have these at your fingertips. And 260 of the Constitution of Kenya. And relevant treaties, conventions, instruments, and statutes. Our vision is a nation where ethnic minorities and marginalized communities are fully mainstreamed for social and economic rights.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You want us to read once again? It's because you want all of us to gram. You have to gram. Yes, you need to gram. Tomorrow, that will be an assignment. If you come here, you need to know, who are we? Read one more time. No. That's excuse me. Read once again.
Question number 2.
No. Just number 1. Just again. Please follow. Who are we?
I repeat again.
Yes, please.
Who are we? We are the Minority and Marginalized Affairs Unit, serving under the Executive Order, under the Executive Office of the President. The unit was established pursuant to the Executive Order number 2 of 2023 and a commitment in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, Better Plan, to protect the rights of the minority and marginalized communities and promote affirmative action, programs, and measures as envisaged in Article 10 into bracket 2, B 27 into bracket 6, 43, 56, 100 into bracket D, 232 into bracket L, into bracket H and I, and 260 of the Constitution of Kenya, and other relevant treaties, conventions, instruments, and statutes. Our vision is a nation where ethnic minorities and marginalized communities are fully mainstreamed for social and economic rights.
Thank you very much. So if you don't, what's your name, please?
I'm Namwezi.
Namwezi, if you are not so sure, if you have not grammed, or it's not in your fingertips, please see her after this. So thank you very much. Can you appreciate all of us?
Thank you.
Since we want to stop there, and we are very grateful for your time for today, I think today we have gotten the light, or we have seen the light.
or the light has come to you. So thank you very much. We want to stop there. And since the secretary is around, we want to invite him to be able to wrap up for today. We will meet tomorrow at exactly 8:30. Thank you very much. Tea is served. Tomorrow we will do presentations. So that was not presentation that you are doing. So tomorrow we will do the presentations, and we will take time to be able to input. We'll get opinion from other experts to input it, because we want to live here on Friday with a document that we are very clear where we have come from, where we are, and where we are going, and very clear who do we want to engage to get to realize our dreams. Are we together? Has many of that opinion say hi? Has many of the contrary of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The secretary, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Our host. Good evening. Good evening. One group or one person has no monopoly of knowledge. That is what I've learned from this process. Because every group we went, we had to reread and change something. And the same groups did the same to our group. We even corrected the group where the secretary, today we had many secretaries. The Maka secretaries, the secretaries of those groups, because the secretaries of the groups, because I'm representing you, the Maka secretaries, let's clap for them. At least they did the other. Thank you very much. I just wanted to appreciate, because we were being confused in my group when they said Secretary Akai Chini. Both of us sat, but now, because we had not known what was going on. So today has been insightful. Today has been great. Today has been a good learning experience. For the group and for the team from the Minority and Marginalized Affairs, we are really grateful. When I was here in the morning, niambia wakili, seemingly we are going to exchange some people wenye wanajua mambo mengi kuhusu youth wakuje huku. I have a team that is passionate about youth. Then wale wako hapa wako passionate about minority, tuwapeleke upande ile ingine. We are gelling well, and this is the strength that we have. So I'll not use many words to describe what we've gone through. All of us have learned, me included, and this is the spirit. If we keep this for the next 3 days, we are even ready to go and face the UN Commission on Indigenous Peoples, Minority and Marginalized, and defend our case without fear. Everybody is getting to be an expert. Asubuhi tulikuja kama tunajifanya tunajua sana, lakini sasa tumeelezwa zaidi. So let me take this opportunity to clap for all those who facilitated this day, starting with the CEO, Bwana David Momanyi. Nimetaja jina ya mtu, mnaanza kupiga makofi. Si mnaongoja instructions. That is how some groups were blank. Let's clap for David Momanyi. One is one. Yes, one is. And for us marginalized and the marginalized communities, for any man, you clap or you give anything, you make sure that they are in doubles. 2, 4, you don't give a man any number that is odd. So something you should learn from. as. 1. Corruption mwache. 1 is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. Ile timu ingine yote ndajumulisha. MC mwenye alitufanya sijui chestika. Our media team, the camera, the communication team that has taken some of us to some interview, the people who cooked food for us, and the eaters who had the food. Because when I was a politician, I went to some family. Let me just ingisha story kidogo. This family used not to attend anyone's function, but they used to contribute. Wakisema kuna harusi anatuma chumvi. Kuna sherehe ingine anatuma majani. So siku yenye yeye mwenyewe aliitisha sherehe kwake, everybody sent exact chenye alituma. And nobody came. Na alikuwa amechinja. So chakula yote ilibaki hapo, and from that day I knew that we should appreciate the eaters. Because you can you can cook your food, prepare everything, but nobody then that guy the following morning had to go from house to house seeking for forgiveness and asking people, please, I'm going to slaughter again, come and eat with me. So let us appreciate ourselves as the eaters of the food of today, and every other person. Hiyo makofi yenye mnapiga ni yenu. Yeah? Yangu ndio tunaenda sasa. Moja kawaida, moja kawaida, 2 parliamentary. 1, 2, I've said 1 normal club. The second one is 2 parliamentary. Parliamentary ni 1. Twende. Moja, 2, moja, 2. Asanteni sana. Mkifika makwenu mpata kitanda ilitandikwa kwa sababu asubuhi mlitoka bila kutandika wengine. And again there are people, because it was raining in the morning, walichelewa kuamka, waliamka kama wametupa blanketi, so imejitandika kwa sababu umefanya kazi mzuri. And thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much, the team here. We are going to learn more from you next 2-3 days. Tomorrow tufike masaa yenye leo tulichelewa. Where is Kulei? That guy has a very good presentation. I think tomorrow if you give him the first time, akiingia tu amalizana na sisi ndiye aende, because is a mwanaume mwenye ako na bibi wawili wanaitwa nini? Polygamist. He's a polygamist. He runs our office and the political affairs office. So the other wife can call him before we use him. So we use him first before. Yes. You're starting in the morning. Kindly come energized and ready to work for us. Then you go for the next second one. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let's meet tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Let us appreciate our secretary and the CEO for jointly making this possible. How do we do this? Naona nitapewa jina hapa. I have run the risk. So we really do appreciate you, and we can do it the factorial way. That's the only one I have in mind right now. Not unless we have someone from Eastern Lower Eastern, to give us the one of giving flowers. You know those blue ones and the green ones and the yellow ones? Does anyone know that one? Okay. You know it? We give them flowers. Okay. Stand up. Thank you. Tuongoze. We are giving them flowers for facilitating our gaining knowledge today.
So they can do it sitting. So we are going. Okay, let's stand kindly. I can start with Lowy or Ngomma. Okay. So the first flower, we are sending it to Mr. Momanyi, our Executive Director, Horn of Africa Youth Network. So we are going to pick the flowers. So it's like you pick from the sky. So we are starting with, I don't know what color he likes, but you can start with the purple. Let's pick the purple ones. The purple ones. The pink ones. Your white, the white ones. Let's give it to him. Wow. Yeah. So the second flowers.
Let me help you. This girl is too Gen Z. Okay, let's go on. You learn this one, kesho utatuambia. Okay. So to the secretary, flowers are known as mala. In another language of some Kenyan community, mala. So tutafute mala mamblu. Mamblu. Ma yellow. Manglini. Ma white. Ma papo. Tumunenge munene mheshimiwa. Asante. Tumesoma hiyo. She has also learned that one now. Thank you. You may take your seats. And it was indeed a great day. And Momanyi has already wrapped it up, so let me not go that way. We say our last closing, not last, the closing prayer for today. Please, tomorrow we are coming back here. Kamali won't be on time. And yeah, I think the expectations changed, so we will find out more tomorrow when we get here. So as you sleep, try and remember something which we have learned today. Try and remember the structure that has come up today as we are doing the questions, so that tomorrow when we come, we are still in touch. So at this point, let us stand and thank God with the national anthem first stanza in English. And this will tell us which school you went to, whether you went to the group of schools or polling station. Okay.
Based on the stories that you are given.
Okay. Based on the stories that we were given, there is tea. Please don't leave the tea, okay? Take a cup of tea and a snack and go energized. So let's go. Who went to group of schools? Leaders? Want to go? Oh God of our creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be your shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. Have a good evening. Thank you.